The NFL, one of the many brilliant things about the National Football League is you never know. You never know.
Never know.
Can't sit here and say you can't, which is part of the reason why Mike Martz, when he called, let me get this correct, when he called Justin Fields this past week that his performance is less than remarkable. Okay, you could say that about one game, but then to go ahead and said he can't do anything. Really? Can't do anything. Could you imagine if there were podcasts after Brady came in, trotted in after,
Oh, jeez.
honestly, after the Jets, Mo Lewis knocks out Drew Bledsoe and Brady, Patriots is over. It's over. Over, done with. Let's talk about this kid, Brady. He can't do anything. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? I'm sitting 2 seats away from Kurt Warner every Sunday morning. You never know. So in that vein,
facts.
In that vein, after just 1 week, albeit I know we're marathoning, we're not sprinting, after just 1 week in the NFL season 2022, I have a top 5 list of you never know Coach of the Year candidates whose odds greatly improved because they're 1-0, and you never know.
Love it. Let's do it.
Right?
Let's do it.
This could be a higher register Coach of the Year candidate list, but you never know. Hit it.
You know what? You just made the list.
Thank you very much. Okay. I'll take it. I'll take it. Wow. Like I had no idea he was going to play that drop. You never know. Even the show, there's you never know moments.
Is that Jericho?
Shout out to the wizard, Chris Jericho.
Wow,
that's incredible.
Okay.
Hit that again, Mikey.
Hey, get it one more time. Why these guys
You
have
know
it.
what? You just made the list.
Here we go. And in the vein of energy, in the vein of, making lists and breaking down walls. Number 5 on the list of you never know. Coach of the Year candidates, just one word. Eberflus!
Eberflus!
Say it with me. Eberflus! What if Matt Eberflus goes up the toll road and comes out with the win against the Green Bay Packers, which, as you know, is what Lovie Smith, when he first got there, said, this is what we're going to do. We're going to beat the Packers. What if Matt Eberflus, in his first foray into this legendary series of back and forths, rivalry games, what if Matt Eberflus and the Bears go to 2-0? What if he keeps on keeping on? And we're all like, what about this line? They don't have any weapons. Justin Fields. Like if we all channel our inner Mike Martz and say, this guy can't do anything. What if Matt Eberflus takes the Bears winning more often than not with this roster towards the playoffs?
Playoffs?
That's why he's number 5 on my list.
Eberflus.
Here's number 4 on this list. Nobody was talking about this guy for Coach of the Year possibilities, but he's got a team that nobody's believing in. And
Mike McCarthy?
He's got a team that nobody is believing in.
Yeah, that sounds like him.
Certainly going into that week 1 game, part of the reason why so many people got knocked out of their suicide pools is because Denver didn't win.
Yep.
And Pete Carroll came up with the dub.
Hey.
Geno Smith cooking.
Hey.
Geno's cooking. You know what? That defense was buzzing around. That defense is fast. Okay? And the run game, Rashad Penny had something going on, and the guy who scored again on the Michigan Wolverines just 5 seconds ago, Kenneth Walker, has yet to start playing there. Maybe the Seahawks can take that 1-0 record, go into San Francisco, win that one, and start moving it forward, and then everybody starts beating each other up, and the Seahawks, dare I say, with the Cardinals looking the way they looked in week 1, having a shot to win this division. You never know. Could Pete Carroll be Coach of the Year material? If you come out with playoff chances and even make it with teams like this, I just named you the 2 teams, Chris, you thought were going to be battling it out for the first overall pick in next year's draft, and, they might by the end.
Still might be right.
I know. Number 3 on this list is a guy whose team looked maybe, in the eyes of many, but maybe not me, because I think the Bucs were the most complete team in the NFC in week number 1.
Oh, yeah.
If this guy can unlock Kirk Cousins If Justin Jefferson in this offense can be Cooper Kuppian, if this team on defense can knock Aaron Rodgers down and win the division, I think Kevin O'Connell's going to get a lot of looks as coach of the year in the NFL. Was anybody talking about him going into the season? Everybody thought it'd still be the Packers division, and it might. But the Minnesota Vikings looked terrific in week 1, and if they can keep on keeping on right there you go. Number 2, I already mentioned in my 4 downs earlier this week. Hey, man, I think it's the Bengals' decision to win or lose, division to win or lose. The offensive line, I'm assuming, is going to start gelling together, and we'll talk about that with Mitchell Schwartz a little bit more in hour number 3 when he's here in studio. But now certainly with TJ Watt out for 6 weeks, at least, it seems. With TJ Watt out, Najee Harris limping around, and this team buzzing around, and 5 turnovers. They made Joe Burrow -5 after just week 1. Mike Tomlin, Steelers. Mike Tomlin has never won Coach of the Year. Yes, sir. Wow, if the Browns, the Browns won and the Ravens won, the Steelers won too. What if the Steelers take this division? What if this guy who's never had a losing record does more than just not have a losing record, actually wins the division because the Steelers are just believing what he is selling? Talked to Cam Hayward earlier this week about exactly that. It's number 2 on my list. Number 1 on this list. Nobody talking about this guy for Coach of the Year. Nobody. 0.0. Because this team has been terrible
Then that's
for the last damn near decade, with the exception of one burst of a playoff season. But this guy decided to show everybody, oh yeah, that running back who's all injured all the time, guess what? When he's healthy, this is what he can look like again. This quarterback that has been maligned since the minute he was drafted in the top 10 a few years ago, oh yeah, he can go up top. He can play some games. He can actually come up with a game-tying drive late on the road, and I'll make it a game-winning drive because I'm going to tell my place kicker stay there, and I'm going to call for 2 points, 1 point for each one of my Dabolls I'm putting on the table. My number 1, you never know, Coach of the Year candidate whose chances just got better is the coach of the 1-0 New York Football Giants.
You talking playoffs or what?
Yeah, buddy. Because the Giants are going to take the momentum of shocking the Tennessee Titans in week number 1 right into their home opener against Baker Mayfield, who's got some Mayfields of his own. And he is going to just show everybody, I've got a coaching contract. I'm going to roll the dice. Yeah, Joe Judge, by the way, your last coach, you know what he did? He came up with a surrender formation. Season's over. His coaching job's on the line. Who cares if we're going to maybe not convert on 3rd down and we're going to have to punt deep in our end zone and our quarterback might turn it over? Oh, boy. We're going to take a knee on 3rd down. That's what the previous coach did. That's why he's in New England now. And Pat Shurmur, he didn't have the Shurmurs to do what I just did on the road. Going for 2. We're going to win. No overtime. What are we going to do? Force overtime and let Derrick Henry on the field to try and win it with a few seconds left? Or run over my team in overtime? No. Brian Daboll. Yeah, Dabolls of steel.
You just made the list.
Number 1 on my list of potential Coach of the Year candidates, because you can't say this division's not winnable for a Giants team that's got Saquon Barkley and Kayvon Thibodeau's going to start playing soon, and he's pretty damn good. They got some young, good players. And if he infuses them with his confidence level, what, they can't beat Carolina? Put the Giants' schedule one more time.
Oh, I think they can and they will beat Carolina.
If the Giants are 2-0 going against Cooper Rush in a home game against Cooper Rush and the Cowboys on Monday night, maybe all those Giants fans won't put their tickets on the secondary market and Cowboys fans won't fill up half the stadium for the first time in half a decade. And then the Bears come in?
Giants could be 4-0.
And then they go to London to take on the Packers in that game?
Weird stuff happens in
They
London.
play Jacksonville. They play Seattle. They play Houston. They play Detroit. Those are winnable football games if Saquon is healthy and Daniel Jones is doing things that we have yet to see from him consistently. All right. I just gave you my Daboll case.
I love it, Rich.
That's my Coach of the Year top 5 of you never know candidates.
I want to tell you what the desert thinks about your picks right now, Rich.
Okay, sir.
Updated odds here for your coach of the year.
Now that they're all 1-0.
Now that this is updated.
They're 1/18th of the way there, Chris.
This is updated this morning, like an hour ago. Pete Carroll is 40-1. 40-1
Yes.
to win. Okay. Eberflus 28-1.
Say that properly. Will you say it, please?
Eberflus!
Seriously, unleash your inner Eberflus. So
Is 28-1.
Vegas thinks that the Bears have a better chance to make their coach a coach of the year candidate than Seattle?
Seems like it. I mean,
Damn.
I mean, the bottom 3, Rich, are Mike McCarthy, Bill Belichick, Matt Rule, all at 75-1.
Belichick. Get out of here.
But they could turn around and go 15-1.
Part of that is because, like, Belichick would
Yeah.
literally have to win every last one of his football games for him to get another one of those awards.
So who else? Mike Tomlin is 25-1.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got your one that you said, Kevin O'Connell and Brian Daboll. They're among 4 guys at 7.5-1. So Kevin O'Connell, Brandon Staley, Mike McDaniel, Brian Daboll, all the favorites at 7.5-1.
They're the favorites now?
They're the favorites.
Oh,
now.
so I'm onto something.
So you're onto something, yeah.
So which one was Tomlin? Which one is Tomlin?
Tomlin's at 25-1.
So wait a minute. Based on the way you talk and the way that I'm not allowed to think,
Right.
we would call that, or you would, because I would never.
Value.
That's a value. That you'd call it value, wouldn't you?
I would call value at Mike Tomlin 25-1. But they would
Value.
literally have to go like 11-6 probably for him to win that.
They can. They sure can. Why couldn't they? Brian Daboll could have been 0-1. Oh yeah, you know what? You know what? They weren't supposed to win
Or
week 1
tie,
in
maybe
Tennessee.
take the tie
yeah, and
or
see what's
whatever,
going on. No,
yeah.
we're going for 2 and put the pressure on them, and then they missed a kick. It sure looked like Tannehill got him in position.
Yeah, right?
They went from Bullocks to Dabolls.
I see what you
Thank you very much.
did there.
I went with a little bit of I think that's what the Brits call Bullocks, right?
Nice.
Isn't that BS? Isn't that what they say that?
Yes.
Bullock.
Never mind the ball.
Bullocks.
Okay. I'm just worldly.
Robert Saleh also 40-1. Pete Carroll.
Okay. Put some receipts out there.
Although Andy Reid at 40-1, that is crazy value.
That sounds like
That's
value.
like actually.
I guess because, again, the reason why I name these guys is because it's the stories, right? The story. What story you can tell Andy Reid? You know, he's going to the Hall of Fame.
Well, I mean,
Andy's going to the Hall of Fame.
they
He's
trade
got
away
his
their
ring.
best receiver.
Oh,
and
God.
then they
Oh,
go
my-
15-2.
Yeah, but that's like a high-class problem, right? Don't you think that's like a first-class high-rent problem? Oh, gosh, yeah, your top wide receiver and Tyreek Hill wanted out, so you obliged him, and your generationally brilliant quarterback only has a generationally brilliant tight end, and all these other top players from other teams that you've put together in your terrific system for your top of the line 6 straight division winning team.
If they go
That,
14-3,
that's
though,
that's not like Eberflus.
Well, nothing is like Eberflus.
You know what I mean? Like that is nothing on even Kevin O'Connell. Right? So you're sitting Reed's I mean, Andy's a Hall of Famer. You'd rather give it it's a story, it's an award given out by people who talk narratives for a living. And then you all assume, like, okay, he's going to the Hall of Fame. What does he need one of these awards for? Let's give it to somebody else. That's the way these things go. That's why Belichick, remember Phil Jackson, how many times could he have won Coach of the Year? Well, he was just rolling the footballs out. Or the basketballs out, right?
Yeah.
All right.